Hi. Hi to everybody.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Hi to the people. Ah, Colby can hear us.
Yeah. Is that saying that he can't hear us or that there is no sound?
It's an exclamation of fear.
Sound!
Hello from the Final Fantasy XIV moon.
Red alert.
We hate the moon here. We're certified moon haters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously hating the moon. That's, yeah.
I had a bad
space.
experience with the moon, personally.
I think it's pretty alright. What's wrong with the moon? What do you have a bad experience with the moon?
It was on Strange Aeons.
Oh, got it. Watch Strange Aeons.
Watch Strange Aeons for bad experience with the moon. I acknowledge
the thing I found with the moon is that like you can think things are going well and then suddenly the moon will turn the tides and things will not be going well.
I hate that you said that.
Oh wow, what an incredibly poignant. You're right, Captain Ramground. What an incredibly poignant and weirdly relevant conversation.
I'll agree. Moon better than sun.
I would take
sun is very
moon.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take moon over sun.
But without sun, there's no moon. They would be there.
We wouldn't see. We wouldn't see the moon.
I know nothing about the Final Four. That one. The 14
The
moons of Final Fantasy.
I don't know anything about it. I need to turn my Final Fantasy back on.
I mean, I'm aware of it, but
Is that the one we did?
No, I don't like it. That's part of the new, or, I mean, there's a lot of new stuff that just came out with the most recent patch, and I think that there was some moon stuff like a little earlier and possibly one of the later expansions, but I'm procrastinating on the main story, and so I haven't gotten there yet. So I don't actually know these answers. I just am aware of people talking about them and everybody having fun.
Is that's not the one that we played? Which one did we play?
It is Final Fantasy. It's the same game, yeah.
Which number did
14.
We did play 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we played that one. We just never got to the moon.
I definitely never got to the moon.
And then maybe if you log back in one day, we'll be able to get you to the moon.
Maybe one day.
I think the only game I ever played where I went to the moon was Destiny. I was big into Destiny and Destiny 2 for a long time. But I'm well, Colby. How are you?
Hi, Colby.
Why'd you single me out, Colby? What's going on?
Because you're the cool guy.
You had to set me up for a
Well,
bit?
Logan, it's good that you were able to make it here tonight.
we had something we want to bring up to you.
Let's do this. It's about time somebody intervened. I need to be stopped.
Oh my gosh.
There it is.
Crab?
There it is.
What's
Once upon a
crab?
yesteryear, and by that I mean like maybe a month ago at this point, I tried to type the word crab into Twitch chat, and Colby is the one that saw it. I mistyped CRAV. And this is apparently the hill I'm gonna die on. It's the hill I'm gonna get murdered on by Colby.
It's like the comic where somebody like mispronounces Grinch is like Grunch, and everybody's like, oh, it's a Grunch.
It's my favorite 90s Christmas music is grunge.
Yeah. Never misspell or say anything wrong,
On the
or it will
internet.
haunt you
No.
forever.
Can't do it. If Logan gets cut, I walk. Me too. TBH.
That's why we can't have knives at this table.
That's why we can't have knives at this table. Sully, what are we doing tonight?
Today, Colby's sick. Not Colby. I don't know anything about him.
I never met that guy.
I do that all the time. Oh my gosh. Corey is sick. Corey's ill.
Sick, bro.
Corey's ill.
Yep.
He's sick. So it's just us.
We're all doing
gonna
fine.
I just hit the table. We're gonna do something fun. We are going to do a choose your own adventure book. Ta-da-ta-da. Ta-da-ta-da. I haven't read one of these since I was a kid. I loved these books growing up. My dad had them when he was a kid, and so then we got his collection. And I would read them on end. This is one that I do own back at home at my house. I was telling these guys, so I will be reading aloud. It'll be story time. And these handsome gents are gonna make some poignant choices. And we're gonna see if we can't find the Abominable Snowman.
And maybe we'll be silly along the way.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll be silly along the way.
And you know, I'm gonna try to make sure maybe we'll slow down. So if any of you would like to assist in choosing our adventures, you know, throw in suggestions.
Yes, raise your hand if you'd like to see a Yeti. Everybody in chat, raise your hand.
If you're watching
Raise
this
your
on
hand.
the VODs after the fact, just do your best. See if you can guess which path we will take.
You can text your vote into the number below.
Yeah, right.
Somebody put it. Somebody put it.
Like
in.
American Idol.
Yeah.
I loved that when I was. Anyway.
Standard messaging rates will apply.
All right, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
There's like a. I forgot. There's a prequel thing before the actual story starts.
Like a
And
How We
it's
Got
printed
Here, or-
like when Star Wars does like
No
the lore
way!
drop at the front.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, the text scroll.
It does like
That's just to
the-
test whether or not you can read.
Right,
It's an
yes.
eye exam built into the book.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
If there's any Foley work that you would like to add here, please feel free as you are moved. Oh, okay. We're
I mean, I'm doing Foley work. We got to do our intro, like miming
Right.
everything.
This is to be immersive. Oh, that's pretty good. I don't know what it is.
It's the ice for the Yeti.
The ice. The ice.
Don't you just feel like you're in the out?
Dude, a Wendigo would be crazy in one of these children's books.
Desert Yeti.
I mean, with the way global warming's going.
They had some scary ones. I remember there was like, there was one that we got brand spanking new, and we were so excited to read it, and we had to stop because it scared my baby brother because they had guns. It was too real in that one. It was like, oh, and you got shot.
Do you reach for the 9 or do you reach for the AK?
He was like 7. He was like, I'm not developed enough to face this choice.
Have you heard of the remake or like the fan remake of Harry Potter with guns?
No.
No.
Someone like remade like the entire movie.
There's like Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, but with guns. I have the movie. I have not watched it.
You have the movie?
Yeah. Because I had
Dude,
to. You
that's
see it, I'm like,
crazy.
okay, well, I'm
That
going to
should
visit
be
the
a
website and
stream of
download
itself.
that
Oh
thing.
my
So of
gosh,
course
can
I
we
have.
do that? Is that allowed?
If you, with the people at Harry Potter but with guns, are watching, please reach out to us here at UGT and let us know.
Oh
It really
my
takes to
gosh.
choose out your own adventure aspect away.
Best Wendigo game was Until Dawn.
Absolutely.
Corey hates that game, and it's a sin. That game's a masterpiece.
I don't know if I've ever disagreed with Corey Roof before, but here we are.
He stopped playing it. He didn't even finish it. Is that not insane? That's such a good game. It's the perfect amount of
Well,
camp.
Corey is wrong.
It's one of the best twists. Like
Yeah.
it makes you think it's an entirely different genre.
I was sitting on a couch with 2 of my friends when the game came out. I was a grown-ish man. The other 2 were definitely grown men. One of them was ironically named Corey. And
I'm sorry.
we were all sitting on the couch, and it's the first jump scare is like a squirrel or a raccoon.
Yes,
and
that's
it got
right.
us so good that we laughed and we're like, well, I guess this is what this game is going to be, and locked in from there on out. It
Yeah.
was so good.
That game is so well made. That's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's an instant classic.
I've never seen. My friend Scott is very tall, and was just kind of sitting back on the couch, like, I've got this. He had I think he had one of his classic tall boy ciders next to him. He was like, let's do this. the look of fear. Squirrel.
Gosh, that game is so good. I wasn't able to play it because I was very sheltered and only had access to Nintendo products and consoles.
Fair.
But I watched it like ravenously. That's how I consumed all games at that age. I would just watch people play
That's
it.
such a great niche market that people like Markiplier were able to capapitalize on. Was the kids whose parents wouldn't let them play these games and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Sorry, Mom. She's not watching. She's not here right now. Unless she is for the that would be wild.
I'm very sad PT never went anywhere.
Bro, PT. Moment of silence for PT. At the end of the day.
I don't know who Petey was.
Like, you immediately violated your own moment of silence.
At the end of the day.
That PS4 is worth some change, my friend. Link.
Oh, that's true. You can't know.
Don't ever get rid of it. Ever.
Dude, I would play Until Dawn. I wanted to have a party for, like, friends when The Quarry came out, which was good. It was not as good as Until Dawn, but it was good. It was still fun. It was fun. I wanted to have a party where we all had, like, campfire food. And then we, like, voted on the choices together on the couch.
Let's all just rent a cabin in the middle of nowhere and play Until Dawn.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
And we'll play it
come
until
Halloween.
dawn.
Until Dawn, yeah.
In Halloween, we should play Until Dawn. I'm calling it right now.
All night.
Somebody remind us. Somebody set a reminder.
Chat remind.
Put it on your phone. And then chime in the Discord months from now. Alright, are you guys ready?
Yes, let's Yeti.
Beware and warning! This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences.
No!
You. No!
Not consequence.
No!
This feels like something that would be read aloud at the beginning of like a Jumanji-esque movie. Of
It
like
so
the story
is.
you're about to go on is gonna happen.
These
so
are
buckle
very
up.
This
Jumanji,
movie is
really.
real and it will happen
It
to
will
you.
happen to you. This is Final Destination.
I don't want consequences.
You must use all of your numerous talents and much of your enormous intelligence. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair.
No.
At any time, you can go back. They say you, in all caps. You can go back and make another choice. Alter the path of your story and change its results.
So we're playing I know some people heavily debate whether or not you're allowed to play save games. Like whether or not you're allowed to go back
We're gonna
on
do
your
some
options.
save games, I think,
It
tonight.
feels very time travel-y.
Lest I have to read this warning multiple times this evening. Alright, here's lore drop. You and your best friend Carlos have traveled to Nepal in search of the fabled Yeti, or Abominable Snowman. Last year, while the two of you were mountain climbing in South America, a guy told you about the legendary creature, and you haven't stopped thinking about the Yeti since. Carlos arrived and went straight into the mountains when a Yeti sighting was reported. He hasn't been heard from in 3 days.
We let Carlos go off on his own?
You are a bad friend.
Apparently. But then
He
again,
always goes off on his own.
Carlos brought us
3 days
mountain
is a
climbing, so
long
who's the
time
real bad
in the
friend
mountains.
here?
I mean,
That's so true.
he's been okay. Sometimes he'll turn up in a week, but
He's been-
something feels different this
Feels
time.
different.
He does
I'm
this all the
so
time.
nervous.
He left his hat. That's how we know.
He never leaves without his hat.
Party foul. A late monsoon storm has moved in and the mountains are almost impassable. This is terrible. You know Carlos will depend on you to do the right thing, but what is it?
Whoa.
That's so intense. These are for children.
Yeah.
That's an intense open
So do
for
we?
a 9-year-old.
Is our first option to call in a helicopter rescue crew?
Well, it's the monsoon. I don't know if
Well,
we can.
actually, you have a whole lot more lore here.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
So it can't be that urgent. But let me tell you about yourself. The person is, you are a mountain climber. Three years ago, you are a mountain climber. Get in the zone. You're a mountain climber. 3 years ago, you spent the summer at a climbing school in the mountains of Colorado. Your instructor said that you had natural skills as a climber. You made rapid progress, and by the end of the summer, you were leading difficult rock and ice climbs.
Some kind of mountain savant.
There are no more official words.
I
for
took
that,
I took
guess.
the AP classes in
The
climbing.
AP rock and ice climbing.
This feels like what you would tell your friends you did, but you just spent like 3 months in Golden at a brewery.
Right, yes. You just did the ones with like the little red
Yeah.
and blue hand thingies.
Some people went to like the fancy climbing school, and some went to the School of Hard Rocks.
Oh my gosh. That summer, you became close friends with a boy named Carlos. The two of you made a good climbing team. Last year, you and he were chosen to join an international team. The expedition made it to the top of 2 unclimbed peaks in South America. One night on that expedition, the group was seated around the cook tent at the base camp. The expedition leader, Franz, told stories of climbing in the Himalayas, the highest mountains in the world, and they have a map. A picture! There we go. Can you guys you probably can just see the mountains. But they are labeled. I'm not going to try and pronounce all of these.
Aw.
I'm not. I see Everest. I see Kathmandu. That's Annapurna. Many of these I do not know how to pronounce. But they're the Himalayas. The Himalayas. That's so funny. No, they do tell you to turn to page 2, and then I thought they just said go straight to page 4. You don't need
Whatever's on page 3.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw the map. The Himalayas form a great natural wall between India and China, with Nepal tucked in amid the peaks. Everest, K2, and Annapurna are the best known mountains in the Himalayas. So that's the only ones I needed to know. That's probably actually why I know this, because I read this when I was little. These and many other peaks have been climbed. Still others lie in remote areas where few humans have gone. There, said Franz, in the high valleys beneath the snowfields lives the Yeti, sometimes called the Abominable Snowman. The Yeti is said to be a huge beast, Franz tells you, perhaps a cross between a gorilla and a human. People cannot agree what it is. Is the Yeti dangerous? Carlos asked. Franz shrugged. Some say it is. Other people say the Yeti's very gentle. That's Franz!
He's a chill guy.
Who's out here calling the Yeti gentle?
Some people.
Some people.
No, those are other people who say that the Yeti's very gentle. Have you ever seen one? Oh, that's you. Have you ever seen one?
Have you ever seen one?
You inquire. No, almost no one has. The best proof of the Yeti's existence is a set of very large footprints discovered in the 1950s by a British expedition. No one has ever photographed one that I've heard, Franz answers. But still, the stories persist.
Well, now, hold on. When was this book written?
Yeah.
I need to know approximately how long ago those
look?
footprints
I
actually
guess-
would have been found.
Yeah, because it's, what did they say, 56?
They said the
The
50s.
Okay, so that's, like, if it's, assuming it's
find
now,
this?
that's 70 years ago.
Well, it looks like it was copywritten in 1982.
Okay.
So 30 years ago.
So, it's been a minute.
Footprints in the 90s. Got it.
We live in a pre-Back to the Future world, okay.
Yeah,
I can do this.
yes. Gotta get in the zone. You and Carlos decided then and there to find the Yeti. When you returned from South America, the two of you raised money from the International Foundation for Research into Strange Phenomena.
I sold chocolate door to door.
Your goal, proof positive that Yeti exist. You will find and photograph the Yeti. This is what brings you to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Your problems, though, have already begun. 2 days ago, Carlos left by helicopter to look over the terrain near Mount Everest. The helicopter returned without him. The pilot told you that Carlos decided to stay up at the Everest base camp to check out a report that a Yeti had been seen. He had a radio transmitter, but you've received no word from him. The weather turned bad, and radio communication was interrupted. You have an appointment to speak with R.N. Renal, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research, and an authority on the Yeti. He knows of your plans. You need his help with official permits for the expedition. He will also have good advice and information. But what about Carlos?
Naturally.
We've reached our first decision of the night.
Oh boy.
You have two choices here. Do you either decide to cancel your meeting with Renal and search for Carlos, or do you feel that Carlos is okay and go ahead with your plan to meet Renal?
I mean,
That's pretty tough.
Carlos usually knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
I imagine he wouldn't have just gotten out at the base camp without a plan.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a professional. We all are.
Yeah,
You guys were the top of rock and ice climbing school.
absolutely.
But I'm a little concerned that we don't have the time to be filing permits and doing the bureaucratic work.
But
You're not gonna get a Yeti permit?
So I, the royal we, are aware of South American mountains as well as North American mountains, but this is a whole other topography.
Yeah.
I feel like we should go to a local expert. Renal seems like a good choice.
Colby's exactly right, so it is all the pilot's fault. That's what I
100%.
heard, for sure.
I mean, you can't make someone else come back with you,
Yeah.
but I would be curious. This is at the point where it should just turn into an RPG.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And we just go
and the
quiz
first
that
thing
pilot.
you do, yeah, exactly. That would be the first step.
I mean,
would think.
he stayed up there all on his own will, but for all we know, the pilot kicked him out of the
yes.
helicopter.
Because there's got to be one of those, like, the pilot has got to know the weather is coming.
Yes.
It's like, I won't be able to come back and get you for at least X amount of days.
the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a dinky little mountain here. And Carlos is not from here.
No.
So it is the pilot's fault, but what do you do? Are you gonna go? You feel that Carlos is okay? Are you gonna cancel that meeting?
I'd feel bad.
It's rude to cancel.
Meeting.
Yeah,
It's rude.
It's rude to
Yeah.
cancel.
If Carlos is not going to keep his appointments, we should keep ours.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so fair. That's so fair. All right. You go ahead with your plan to meet Renal. You walk down a street bordered by tall pines. They are green-blue, and the branches and needles are very fine and delicate. Hanging from the upper branches are what look like huge, tear-shaped, blackish-brown fruit. You stop and look up, wondering what they are. Then one moves, spreads giant wings, and flaps off. They're bats, the largest bats you've ever seen.
Those are huge.
That's the largest bat I've ever seen.
You reach the foreign ministry.
Oh, there's a fruit.
There's nothing more about that, but there's a picture. There's not a single detail more about that.
World building.
But we're world building. I'm immersed.
Oh.
I'm immersed. You reach the foreign ministry, and you are shown to a waiting room. You wait a few minutes and then are ushered in to meet R.N. Renal, Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research for the Nepalese government. Welcome to our country. We wish you success. But I have some bad news. The expedition you've proposed could be very dangerous. You look at him, not knowing what to expect. Recently, a large expedition set out without telling us that they were going after the Yeti, says Renal. They used guns and traps and tried to kill one of them. The Yeti are angry. Mr. Renal, we just want to find a Yeti. We have no intention of ever hurting a Yeti.
Are you saying they found
That's
the
you.
Yetis and are already fighting them?
Yeah.
There is Yeti turf war.
Okay, all right.
It's not your fault. It's not.
It's
This is the day and age we live in the 90s.
Do we think Carlos went with those guys?
Oh, does
Or
Carlos
he's going
have
to
guns
fight.
now?
He could be going to fight them on his own.
It could be like a Tarzan situation, which spoilers if you've never seen Disney's hit movie Tarzan, where like Jane and her father are accompanied by this crew who turn out to be poachers. It could just be like, hey man, we're going up the mountain.
Right, we're
You
so
wanna- you
chill.
You need an
Forget your radio transmitter,
Ignore the
Carlos.
guns.
Get out. We're going offline.
I'm still more concerned that we went from nobody's ever seen a Yeti to they are actively fighting them.
Be careful what colors you wear on this side of the mountain. Like,
Not only are they real, I, a government agent, have acknowledged that.
is he the?
Somebody tried to shoot one.
He's the foreign minister.
What is his title? He's in the foreign ministry. He's
Okay.
the director of expeditions and mountain research for the Nepalese government.
That's wild.
It's a crazy title.
That's all right. It's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
But this would be enough for me to go, oh, that's Yeti confirmation.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have to see him now.
I
You
don't have
told
to
me.
photo one
Right.
now. It seems like the government knows.
Seems like Nepal knows that there are Yeti.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nepal is not bothered about it. They've seemed certain.
Okay.
All right. Runal says, I know that. We've checked up on you. Okay. It is a shame about the others. I must advise against going into Yeti territory. I could arrange a trip for you into the Terai region, out of the mountains, in the jungle area. You could photograph and study the tigers. They're famous and also dangerous. Later, perhaps you could conduct the expedition you were leading. We are at another choice. Do you decide to go ahead with the expedition for the Yeti, or do you decide to postpone the expedition to let the Yeti calm down a bit and go on to the Terai region in search of tigers?
I feel like Carlos is gonna
We
die.
can't
It's
just
looking
leave our
bad.
we can't leave our best friend Carlos up there on his own. Like,
Y'all didn't pack up Carlos and head home!
Yeah, like
I don't think I knew Carlos that well. Maybe we can.
you climb a
should
mountain
just
with
go.
a man and you think you know him.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't ask me to be his best man at his wedding.
That was a red flag right there. We really should have
That's
listened.
true. Really, it is a little bit of a party foul that he went ahead. What if he did find the Yeti and he's up there without you with the
He
Yeti?
could be partying Yeti style.
Yeah. It's supposed to be you guys together. It's supposed to be
And
us.
he's hogging.
Don't come by my house.
He's gonna hog all the
house.
fame for himself and say he found the Yeti. And
Carlos is the villain.
you know what? He should die up
He
there.
might
we should.
die
We
though.
should.
we should just postpone. Oh man.
I
You
kind
wanna
of
go see tigers?
I kind of want to know what happens.
Does
if
anybody
we-
in chat want to
I-
go see tigers or Yeti?
Here's the thing. We are mountain experts. I don't know nothing about no jungle. Like,
That's true. It's entirely, yeah.
Well, it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel like he's trying to be like, oh, sorry, your flight to Hawaii was canceled. Do you want to go to Canada instead?
Yeah, it is kind of, you have certifications for the mountains and nothing about tigers.
Yeah. It's like you can't even just like say, do you want to go to a different mountain? It's like,
Right, yeah.
Do you
That's
want to
so
go
true,
to the
actually.
forest?
It's not even related.
He could be an inside man for the Yeti, trying to discourage people from...
That's right. I've been told to not go into
Maybe
the
he's
forest
a Yeti.
alone.
Yeah.
The forest actually sounds
Maybe
more
he's a
dangerous.
Yeti.
We cut to Renal, and he's just
It's
this
just, like,
7-foot man dragging knuckles.
Yeah,
in
no,
a
the Yeti are angry,
a
actually.
suit
Don't
buttoned
go.
Wrong. And a hat.
That's true. You know what? I don't have a picture
There's
of
no
Renal.
picture of Renal.
I have a tiger. I have a tiger.
Maybe he's a tiger. Maybe he's trying
He's trying to promote tourism for the tigers because their
Maybe you should
businesses
go
aren't
see
doing
tigers
well.
instead.
Should support local business while you're in the
Support
jungle.
local tigers.
I'll admit, I kind of want to know what happens if
You
we
wanna
just
go
say,
see the
say-
tigers?
Yeah, and say ignore them.
It sounds like we're going to the tigers.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm told we can time travel and correct this if it
Yes,
goes wrong.
I think
So
so.
let's see what the tigers are all about.
All right, we're gonna go to the tigers. We're leaving Carlo.
Bye.
He's
Bye.
got it.
All right. You talk with Renal at length about the Terai, a tropical zone at sea level just 100 miles from Everest, the highest elevation on Earth. What contrast! You realize that it will make excellent material for a feature article for your local paper. You're kind of a tool.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to say. Carlos is dying. Crazy. The Terai is incredible, Renal tells you. The jungle is filled with flowers and animals, the fierce Indian tiger, and the dangerous rhinoceros. I will arrange to have elephants carry you into the remote areas.
We're giving so many
Kinda
animals.
crazy.
This sounds great.
It's real weird how badly he doesn't want us to go on that expedition.
Yeah, he's really gung-ho.
This is the old janitor that works at the... We froze.
Oh.
Can anybody hear us?
Chat, blink twice.
Chat, blink twice. If we say Arcadis 3 times. Oh,
Carlos
is it? Oh, well, they can hear
They
us.
can hear us.
We
but-
are frozen, though, huh? I'll go check the cameras. I guess. I've never had anything happen.
Arcadis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
okay.
we are frozen. All right, let's figure it out.
Yeah. I think
You're listening to
We're frozen in
UGT
Carlos.
Radio.
we're actually just not moving in real life. This is
Right.
we're role playing being frozen.
We all got really good at ventriloquism.
I mean, we're still moving on this thing. How do I do this?
I'm gonna mess with things now too.
All right, guys. Well, we're doing it live.
Previously, I think
Hey, man, go for it.
Brought to you by Strange Aeons. Watch on
It's
Sundays.
a radio drama now.
I would love to do a radio drama podcast for UGT. Like, just have Bryn do, like, a decent chunk of artwork or, like, look at scenic landscapes as we transition to, like, yeah.
Oh, that would be so fun.
you gotta hold down the fort, keep everybody entertained.
Do a little song and dance. Don't dance.
All right, I'm dancing. Here I go.
Oh,
ooh,
wow.
cha, ooh, mm. This next one I call the Dynamo. Cha.
Well, guys, this is fun. I love these dancers.
I'm gonna do the tried and true method of turning it off and on again.
Classic. I heard the sound. When we come back in, Logan is dancing. I fixed it! I did it!
I haven't danced that hard since '94.
We're back. Can't shut us off that easily.
You're not getting rid of Carlos that
We're back.
easy, everybody. We're gonna figure out what happened to him.
Everybody thumbs up, we're back? We're so back? We're so back? Colby will tell us we're
I gotta
back.
rehydrate after that dance.
Yeah, no, Logan was really busting it down, actually.
I thought the pocket glitter might have been too much.
We rescued Carlos.
Yay! So yeah, actually, Carlos. Alright, are you guys ready?
Yes.
The elephants. Okay, within 2 days after leaving a message for Carlos, you are riding on an elephant's back, swaying with its ponderous footsteps. Would you leave a message? Not like a YouTube. That's just, oh my gosh, it's immersion.
I've never ridden an elephant before. This is nice.
That was so
You
good.
wanted folded.
That's really good. I'm immersed. Alright, the heat is almost unbearable, and drops of sweat roll down your neck and soak your khaki safari shirt.
Oh.
You come to a stream bordered by thick green jungle. There in the sand are boot prints and spent cartridges from a large weapon.
Vape pods.
Teenagers are near.
Whoa. Somebody really chill is nearby.
I'm so glad I didn't wear my jean safari shirt.
Not good, not good. Must be poachers after tiger skins and elephant tusks. Dangerous, says your guide. Let's follow them. Let's see what they're up to. That was you.
Yeah.
I said that?
Yeah, you said
Oh,
that.
that doesn't sound like me. But
That sounds like fun. Let's go look for the danger.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
We specifically avoided the Yeti danger, so we gotta find some more here.
I feel like we're adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe we should split up. That way we can cover more territory. So, do you decide, do you split up or do you stay together?
Are we going for worst possible timeline?
You're
we've already
already with the
abandoned
tigers. Carlos is already dead.
We gotta go it alone.
Let's go it alone.
We're splitting up?
I'm tired of this guy telling us where to go and what to do. We're gonna go out on our own and have an
you guys
adventure.
go that way and we'll go this way.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Ruh-roh.
Alright,
Yes,
you're splitting
yes.
up. Okay, you say to the guide. You go on
Okay.
downstream. I'll head into the jungle and circle around and meet you at the stream. If you need help, fire 3 shots. Wait 6 seconds, and then fire 3 more shots.
I have a gun.
You're really calling the shots here.
We're gonna take like 10 minutes and teach each other Morse code and guns.
If you need help, fire 3 shots. Wait 6 seconds and fire 3 more.
Like
3 quick shots and then 3 long shots
Right.
and then
Right.
3 more quick shots.
that's the thing is like, oh, 3 random gunshots. They're probably fine.
Yeah, right.
Another
yeah.
3 gunshots.
Another 3 after 6 seconds, no less. Okay, be careful. You set off into the jungle, moving as quietly as possible. 2 hours later, you stop for a rest, swatting at the mosquitoes and picking off the leeches. With a roar, a magnificent tiger, at least 8 feet in length from nose to tail, springs out of the bush.
Roar!
You are finished. The end. That is a death. You have died.
You died.
Nice.
That's you swatting mosquitoes, not the tiger.
We died from the malaria.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty close. It's photo finish,
The
really.
tiger just scared me to death. Left me alone.
The gun went
But I
off.
was just so spooked.
So spooked. You died!
Woo! We
First
died.
death of the evening.
Let's keep a death counter.
Yeah.
Oh, let's.
We're at
We're-
one.
Yes, one death. One death so far. One death via
Now,
tiger.
what if we learned
in the Yeti book?
Don't trust tourism.
shoot
trust
any
tourism.
sound you hear?
Yeah.
Any sound.
Here's the thing. If your gut instinct tells you when you go on a mountain climbing expedition,
Mhm.
your quote unquote best friend leaves without you,
Yes.
then you decide to just abandon him and go to an entirely different biome.
Yes.
And then abandon a guide who knows what they're doing. First of all, that guide was it our idea to split up?
It was the guide said that you should split up. Maybe.
He wanted us to get killed.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
This goes back to Renal.
That is a racket that Renal runs to get people away from the Yeti.
Yes.
I think this
agree.
entire foreign ministry might actually be tigers.
Tigers and
I think
Yetis
that's
have
a
teamed
good
up.
theory.
Yeah.
These books are weird enough though that that's not
after-
even like a impossibility.
Like after
Let me
2
tell you.
hours, he went and took off his human suit and then found us and ambushed
Yes.
us.
They fell for it. All
That's what I'm
right.
saying, Colby.
Where do you guys want to go back to? We're doing save files. Where would you like to go back to? Huh?
I'm curious. I feel like we should save the Carlos plotline for the last. I want to know what
No,
happens if we don't split up with the guide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was our most recent bad decision.
Yes. Okay, so Guide says, okay, maybe we should split up. That way we can cover more territory. You decide, no, we should stay together. You and your guide head downstream. You find the poachers. Killing tigers and elephants for their skins and tusks is a serious crime in Nepal. They don't believe in leaving evidence of their activities. You try running away into the forest, but the poachers are quick. They don't leave any witnesses, so you also die, actually.
They took us
You actually also die on that one.
They took us for our
Yes,
skins, too.
So it turns out...
Oh no, thank you, Colby. What happened to gun? 6 shots! 6 shots!
We fired our 3 shots in the air, and then 3 more.
You did that first to show them that everything's
It's
okay.
okay, yeah.
So it turns out if you just go see the tigers at all,
You die.
you just die.
Okay.
The whole thing
we
did
should've
feel like a
known.
setup.
We should've
I
known.
said before stream, by the way, that I thought that one of the endings in this was really silly when I was a kid, and it was in fact that if you go to see the tigers, you just die
just
no matter
die.
what happens.
Yeah, you're out of your element. You don't know
Yep.
what you're doing.
Because I also was like, tigers? For a free extra adventure in my Yeti book? That was not the case.
This is what you get for thinking you can have 2 different storylines.
So we
We're
have
greedy.
2 decisions left we could overturn. We could go and say we're not going to see tigers and continue forward anyway, or we could go and skip our meeting with Renal altogether.
Mm.
At this point, I kind of want to... Well,
You said it's rude to cancel a meeting.
Yeah.
It is.
but we did take our meeting and he killed us.
He killed us.
He did.
Uh,
We're
What?
certified Renal haters over here. I
Yeah.
think.
but there is
Cancel.
part of me that now wants to... I don't know what would be more fun, to be rude to Renal
Mhm.
and skip the meeting,
Yes.
or to be rude to Renal and be like, no, I'm not taking your advice, we're going.
Mm.
Do we retain?
Like, do we say it to his face?
Do we retain memory in each timeline?
I don't. What kind of universe are we building?
Because if we don't keep our memories,
Mhm.
then I feel like we would never cancel the appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's rude to
Yeah.
I think that's up to you.
But
guys.
if we woke up the next day in a very like happy death day situation, where it's like tigers are bad.
no tigers. Mhm.
Time
Story rules. So Colby says, I guess that means retain, unless
I-
time story's a
I
reference.
love when Tom Hanks plays that clock and is like, "There's a snake in my cogs." Time Story.
Time story.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I've never seen Time Story. I don't know
I
what you're
have
talking about.
either.
That was one
Yes,
of my
retain-
childhood.
Yes, retain
best
memories.
childhood
All right,
Okay.
Colby says retain memories.
What was that movie
and
that
Colby's
came out
the only
like,
one in chat
10
talking
years
to
ago
us.
about what was the movie that came out like 10 years ago about fighting aliens and time bowls?
Edge of Tomorrow.
That one.
Originally
Heard
titled
it.
Die Another.
Die the same day.
Mm,
Actually, wasn't
Live,
it
Die,
like
Repeat. Live,
yeah,
Die, Repeat.
yeah,
Die Another Day is a James Bond movie.
yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Live,
Surprisingly
die
good.
again.
Yeah,
Live
really?
it again.
Yeah, Tom Cruise did a great job in that.
Huh. Okay.
Time Story is a board game. So what are we doing? Are we?
So, what would you
Let's
what would you like to do?
let's take the meeting.
You take the meeting, take the
I
meeting.
want to take the depth first
Let's go
approach.
tell
We're
him
gonna
to his
move back up
face.
one step.
This man killed us with tigers twice.
Twice.
All right. So you decide to go ahead with the expedition for the Yeti. All right. Here we go. This is you. I appreciate your warning and kind offer of the alternative to go to the Terai. Wink, wink, you say, because you've retained your memories. We are committed to this expedition. We will search for the Yeti with openness and friendship.
We are going to be friends.
We're gonna be friends.
He's gonna like us, and we're gonna
Yeah.
impress him, and we're gonna give him
Yes.
gifts, and we're gonna hug. And,
It's
and
gonna be me. R.N. Renal nods his head and speaks quickly to his assistant in Nepali. Within minutes, you have the necessary papers for the expedition, stamped in the proper places, with the official seal of the Nepalese government. As you shake hands before leaving, he stops you. If you're determined to go on your expedition, it could be easier and safer if I come with you. What should you do? Having a government official along with you might just cause delays and bureaucratic snafus. On the other hand, he could also smooth the way. Do you?
He's already gotten us killed twice.
No, that's so with the lore that we're creating about Renal
Okay.
here, it's pretty slimy. So the options are, of course, do you accept Renal's offer to join you, or do you decline his offer?
we can't have the cops come along with us.
No narcs.
No cops.
No narcs.
No cops, we're declining. No cops.
No cops.
No cops on this Yeti trip.
Look, man, it's clear you already don't like the Yetis, and we're gonna be there to be friends with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That very much feels like the
you're bringing
earpiece
bad
went off. It's
vibes.
like they didn't take the tourism.
Mhm.
Don't go with them.
Yeah, there's some. He's
He's an inside
severely
man.
suspicious
Yeah.
at this point.
I still feel like if we take this route, he's going to just turn up on the mountain anyway.
Yeah, he'll
Fancy
be there.
meeting you
Oh!
here.
There will be a Runal jump scare.
The Yeti is an undercover officer. Jokes on you.
Crap. I'm trying to bust up this Nepalese drug ring for 5 years.
I think we'll go it alone. Thanks anyway. Mr. Renal shakes your hand, but he does not smile. It is clear that you have offended this man. What should you do? Is an apology in order? Should you try to patch things up? Your next choice is, do you try to make amends and end up inviting him to accompany you? Or do you stick to your decision?
They strongly
They're giving
urge
you
us.
another chance to bring him with you.
Are you sure?
It's serious. It's like the thing in a video game, which is, are you sure?
It's that Pokemon loop where they don't let you say no.
Yeah, seriously. That's how much text is on that page. Do you see that?
He's
Look how
offended.
little text is there after you say no.
Look, he's feeling. This is now. I'm feeling offended.
Yeah.
That he's
Yeah.
not respecting our choices.
Yeah. That was definitely one of those, like, you shake hands and then it's like the grip's a little too tight
what
or
if
it
you-
goes
yeah,
a little
sure.
second longer. Mhm. There's drama here.
Yeah.
I feel it's a bad.
This
It's
makes
a
sense.
bad sign for any relationship in that like he's already not respecting what we've said. If we
Correct.
bring him along, he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't get to get the window seat. Are you sure you don't want to let him sit there instead?" I'm like, fine, take the window seat too.
If they
Whatever.
ask you again after this,
He's not coming.
he's
I
not
don't
coming.
think he's coming.
Unless we
No.
can throw him out of the helicopter.
We hate Ronaldo.
Which I don't know if we can take because it's monsoon time.
It's monsoon time.
Alright, so you're sticking to your decision?
Sticking to it.
Okay. You leave Renal's office. As you walk outside, you are hit with torrential rain. It falls from the sky, hitting the earth in explosive drops. You planned your expedition assuming the monsoons would be over by now, but apparently they're not.
It's 5 o'clock. They're supposed to be gone by now.
They're supposed to be gone by now. It's past monsoon time, really. You sit it out in your hotel for 3 weeks. The constant rain has closed off the trails to the mountain valleys with mudslides and boulders. Nature has gone wild, and your expedition is blocked for good. Too bad. Try again next season.
Maybe if we had
The
brought,
end.
maybe if we had brought Runal, he would have known how to stop
The
the
rain would have
monsoons.
magically stopped.
This was a death of a dream rather than of a character.
I don't.
And if we're sticking with time travel rules, you also just lost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm aging.
You're aging.
This trip has aged me.
So that is an official ending for not taking Renal. There's
Do we go back and say not take him the first time and then apologize and take him the second time?
Now we have a decision.
I almost want to know, like, if it's different.
I feel like we got
Why would it be different? It's still the same weather, but
They go to different pages, I'll tell you that much. Accepting his offer initially is page 24.
Is he...
and
in control
making
of the
amends
weather?
is 39. So they are different pages.
I think he's in control of the weather.
He is a Yeti.
He's
I bet
he's a
Yetis do
shaman
that.
of some sort.
he is some force of nature.
Yeah.
Like,
Dealing with a chosen.
possibly, like, is there a, are there any of those, like, fairy tale, like, creatures that, like, are, like, shape-shifting animals or something? Because I feel like he might be a tiger and a yeti, but also somehow just a spirit of nature.
Dude, he's the BBG at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no question. The fact that you've died so many times just after associating with him.
Is this guy played by Matthew Lillard? Is that?
Probably.
Yeah, who's the actor?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Who do, what about Malcolm McDowell?
I think those are his assistants. I don't think that's him. Otherwise, that might be him. Oh, maybe, no, actually, that's probably him talking. He said he talked to
I
his
don't trust that
assistant.
haircut.
So then that's him. He's got like a sort of Draco Malfoy kind of haircut.
Yeah,
with
you
darker
immediately
hair.
distrust him.
Yeah. Mhm.
I feel like if we accept if we apologize and let him go, I think it's going to be that he pushes us off the helicopter ending, but I kind of want to see it now.
I also kind of want to see it.
All right. As a point of power, We're gonna decline him and then make amends?
I think it makes sense because we would feel rude canceling the meeting, and then we see we've offended him, so it would make sense to apologize.
Okay,
all right.
Page 39.
Arcadis, it's wild. We haven't even seen one yet.
We haven't even seen the Yeti.
We've seen more tigers
That's
than
so
Yetis.
true. All right. What should you do as an apology in order? Should you try to patch things up? Decide to make amends? End up inviting him to accompany you. Mr. Renal, I beg your pardon, sir. I have made a mistake. This is your country, and we need your help. Please do accompany us. It will be our honor and pleasure to have you with us. The room is silent. You shift nervously and stare out the window at the palace grounds and the formal gardens. Renal does not respond right away. He fiddles with a pencil on his desk, deep in thought.
He's gonna stab us with a pencil.
I don't like this guy.
He sucks so bad. I appreciate the kind offer. I can only accept if you allow me the great honor of being expedition leader.
I told you he was gonna like
Kid who wants to be the good controller every time he comes over.
I'm the guest. I get to have the real one. You can take the Mad Cats.
If you will allow this, I may be able to arrange for funds from the government as well as tactical support from the Royal Nepalese Army, including helicopters.
Why do we need to go to war with the Yeti?
He said to not go to the Yeti.
Some people call the Yeti gentle, but not Renal.
Other people.
We want to rescue our friend. Please, can you get the army with guns and helicopters and money?
Okay. I forgot how bad this guy sucks, really.
Can you tell us if the page number of where the monsoons kill our dream and telling him no again are the same
They're
page?
different. They're different. So this catches you by surprise. You are the leader. So your choice is, of course, do you allow him to be the expedition leader, or do you point out that it will not be possible? Impossible.
Sorry, can't do it. Me relinquishing power? No.
Cannot be. These are different. I can't believe that there's so many pages tied up in negotiating with this guy. You just gotta get on the mountain. You gotta get on the mountain once.
I want to see what happens if we further incite his wrath.
Yeah. I want to follow the hypothetical train. I can't say that we would do this.
We're certified Renal haters.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
We're Renal haters, and we would be like, no, we just said you could come along. You don't get to take control too.
He's such a jerk.
But we're gonna play the alternate universe here now, where we're like, okay, yeah, we'll be pushovers.
Okay.
We'll pretend to be pushovers.
So you're gonna let him be leader?
Yeah,
whatever you say.
Whatever.
All right. We're gonna let him be leader.
It's your country, fine.
It's your country. Okay, Mr. Renal. You lead the expedition. I'm sure our goals are the same. We can use the support of your government. Renal's connections within the government turn out to be very useful. Soon the expedition has better supplies and equipment than you would have been able to get on your own.
And they turned off the monsoons.
And he turned off the monsoon.
So the monsoon is over?
I haven't heard anything about a monsoon. His knowledge about the Yeti proves to be useful. Arrangements for a helicopter to the base camp at Mount Everest are made.
So yes.
Maybe it's the best to have him lead. It's his land, and he knows it well.
He's
Turn to page 2.
100% controlling the weather.
Oh, yeah. Now that he's a member of your expedition, Renal sends out a government team to set up your base camp and find Carlos. Success! Carlos is found and rejoins you! Renal turns out to be an excellent team member. 6 porters carry your food and tents and supplies. This leaves you free to explore the steep valley sides and the small villages along the way. The days are long, beginning at first light and going until sunset. Your legs ache from the constant pounding as you walk along the narrow trails which have served these Nepalese people for hundreds of years. Above you are bright blue skies dotted with clouds. The snow and ice flanks of 3 mountains rise above the green of the lower slopes. I don't know how to... Lots? Lotes? Pumori probably is that one. And Everest. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. No, it's not my country. It's Renal's. As you approach a village, Renal points out a large building with a red roof, which stands above the small, neat houses clustered about it. That's the monastery where there lives a monk, a Buddhist monk, who has lived with the Yeti. But I thought no one had really seen one. I thought no one alive had spent time with the Yeti. Renal answers, a well-kept secret. Those who share the secret knowledge of the Yeti are pledged to reveal this knowledge only to appointed people. You, and you alone, are one of the appointed. It has been seen in the stars. It has been read in your hand. What do you mean?
You knew this the whole time.
The whole time.
What do you mean?
And you fed us to tigers.
And you fed us to tigers. Who saw it in the stars? Who read it in my hand?
Show me the astronomer.
Show me him!
Where are your receipts,
Give
Renal?
me the man! Does the RA in the author's name stand for Renal, actually? That's really good. Renal does not answer for several minutes. Then he speaks. If you accept the secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now.
Oh, I think we become the Yeti. If we...
Is he gonna kill us again?
And then he's gonna hunt you, because it's a Yeti turf
He
war.
calls us this, like, child of prophecy. It has the nerve to send us to hunt tigers.
And also be like, but I'll be the
But I'm in
expedition
charge.
leader.
It feels more culty.
Oh yeah, it's now we're getting a little weird. Are you ready for the secret knowledge of the Yeti and the responsibility that goes with it?
The secret knowledge is that the Yetis eat people.
Yeah,
Or
like,
do you reject the offer of secret knowledge?
Carlos is here.
He's here. We ain't heard much.
But we're not
from
allowed to
him.
tell Carlos?
Carlos, what do
I
you think
guess
about
not.
this?
It's only you. They didn't say Carlos. You're gonna leave Carlos behind again.
Again. He left us behind.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, listen, buddy, Carlos went on a lot without you. You can go on without him again. It's fine.
Your mind just flashing to tigers.
You know, we can give Carlos a vacation to the forest. He'll love it there,
You'll
too.
love it there.
They really made quick work of finding Carlos.
Yeah.
He was
And
right there
Renal is
waiting
right
for the
there.
That makes
helicopter.
it easy. Mm-hmm. Renal is the key to getting Carlos, I suppose. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
We can go all
Maybe
the way back.
is it even Carlos?
It's a Yeti.
It's another Yeti.
Carlos has been a Yeti.
What's
they've been
something
trying
that
to get
only
hold of.
Carlos would know?
What did I say to you the first time we called?
Arcadis says ascendee to the Yeti. This is a tough one.
Our lives will forever change.
Your lives will forever change.
I kind of hate that this succeeded. I kind of wanted... I didn't want it to fail.
I didn't want to go with you.
I feel like we're never going to be allowed to leave the country of Nepal if we...
That's probably true.
The force to become
They-
monks.
Send it,
and then-
Colby
Send it,
wants-
do it.
All right.
All right.
We haven't let
Let's-
chat make a hard
Yeah.
decision.
You know what?
So
Yeah. Chat wants to become a Yeti, potentially. We don't know. All right.
Secret
You're
knowledge.
ready for the secret knowledge of the Yeti and the responsibility that goes with it. I gladly accept your offer. I am ready for the knowledge.
I'm ready for Yeti.
Come with me.
Ready,
he leads
Yeti,
you
Yeti,
to the
Yeti.
monastery. Carlos stays behind.
Rip,
That's a sentence on its own line.
Rip
It's
Carlos.
so sad. You
An
and
avalanche
Renal.
comes.
Dude, it used to be you and Carlos, man. That's you and Renal.
He left
What
first.
happened,
He
bro?
left
What
first.
happened?
What happened, bro?
What happened to us, bro? You and Renal enter the monastery through a huge wooden door. It is dark inside. But you make out the figure of an old
What?
man.
Oh.
See, you,
You and Renal just start making out.
but you make out the figure of an old
What if we held hands in the monastery?
in the
That'd be
Buddhist
crazy.
monastery.
What- but like
Before
what-
I become a Yeti. Before.
Before.
The figure of an old man seated on the floor. Behind him is a statue of Buddha. The man welcomes you and motions you to sit before him. You see that he is wearing the robes of a monk. You are served yak butter tea, a thick broth that you find hard to swallow.
I'll hold it with both hands.
Listen well with heart, head, and body. Listen with eyes more than with ears. Heed the cry of the Yeti. The old man tells you. I'm sorry, this is serious.
That sounds like fake being deep. I'm like, listen
Heed
with
the
my
cry.
eyes more than my ears. So
Are
I'm
you
gonna
heeding?
close my
You
eyes,
purchase
close my
this
ears, and
timeshare.
just watch.
Purchase this time in Yeti.com. You can hear bells in the distance and wind in the pine trees just outside the window. It is beautiful. You sit for what seems like hours, listening with your whole being. Finally, the monk speaks. Time now to go on the next journey. What journey, you ask? This is getting too weird.
Whoa. Stab.
A
Getting creeped out,
continuation of the one you are already on, he replies.
Oh.
Do you agree
The
to
same
take
journey.
the journey, or do you decide that you are not prepared to change your life forever? You're getting another out here.
I feel like we're on the path of the Yeti.
We're already
Yeah.
here.
Colby said send it. Let's send it.
The guy
Colby
said
said
to listen to it
send
with
it.
our eyes, and I think our eyes are just going to see going forward.
The eyes will see going forward. Alright. Alright, you agree to take the journey. Renal is still with you. It's the person. He's still here.
Carlos is not.
Carlos is not.
Is this going to end up like one of those like adventure movies where they needed like the chosen one, but Renal's going to be the guy who's like, I just needed you to get me inside.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He's so. That's why they're specifying he's
It's a
still
good
here.
call.
That's a really
It's
good
a
call.
really good call.
He taps you on the shoulder, and you rise and follow him, Renal, to the back of the monastery behind the Golden Buddha. The heavy smell of rose-scented incense fills the air. The Yetis are guides to Shangri-La.
Oh.
They take the chosen people to this hidden valley, which many have heard of, and only a few have seen.
They have amazing ranch.
You nod, wondering what comes next. One last chance, my friend. Turn back now and live a normal life with your friend Carlos.
Somebody
Go ahead and
You
accept
know
the
what?
life of the secret world.
forget Carlos.
Do you go on or do you turn back?
We have to send it, but now I just want to know, are any of the page numbers in all of those previous
They're
ones-
different. They're different. I can see different numbers.
Carlos abandoned us first. We
It's
rescued him. He owes us.
Carlos left you behind.
Yeah.
Leave him behind.
He's not a real one.
He's not a real chosen one. We're better than him.
I've let it go in my head already. We
Gotta go. I already feel too big.
I'm the chosen one.
All right.
By the
You're going
stars.
on?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
Here we go. I am ready, Renal. Lead the way. Renal taps 3 times on the back of the Buddha near the spot where its skull and neck join.
Taps his heels together 3 times. There's no place like Yeti.
There's no place like Yeti. It makes a clanging sound, like cymbals being struck. Awesome! Before you stands a 7-foot-tall being with broad shoulders and huge feet. His face is gentle and kind. You're not frightened. Renal introduces him. This is Zodak. He is your special guide. Follow him. He will take you where you must go. Can I say goodbye to Carlos? It is not usual. I do not advise it. It might upset him and you. However, if you wish, go and say farewell.
Carlos is already dead.
Yeah.
Do you go and bid farewell to Carlos, or do you decide against bidding farewell?
Duplicitous cur is wild.
Oh my god! This started as a rescue mission. And
Yeah.
Can I say goodbye to Carlos?
It's a very genuine question, but
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things to go back and unwind.
I mean,
There's so
like,
many.
I feel like it's very obvious that saying goodbye to Carlos is an ending, which kind of makes me want to see what the ending is.
I feel like we'll lose the path to Shangri-La. Like a snowstorm will like make us bury the monastery,
Yeah.
or like
Or he gets jealous and pushes us off the mountain and goes on his own and takes our place. But we look like Carlos. People say we look
That's
exactly the
true.
same. We all know that. That was part of the lore.
It's part of the lore. It was in there.
all right. We based all of the decisions on that. It would be rude to miss the meeting. It would be rude to not say goodbye to Carlos.
Yes.
Let's go say goodbye,
You
and
go,
then we will immediately rewind and not say goodbye to Carlos.
You go and bid
Carlos is
farewell.
just sitting there at the tent being like, where'd he go?
I miss my buddy.
He just went into that little monastery.
What was his name?
Ice climber.
Ice climber.
My buddy the reader.
My buddy the reader. You walk out of the room. The Yeti, Zodak, accompanies you. Carlos stands outside, as he was when you left him. He is frozen in time.
He's in his idle state.
Oh.
This is a time story. He's frozen in time. He can't hear you, nor can you hear him. You've become a part of a different world. You start to realize some of the consequences of your decision to go to Shangri-La. You say a quiet goodbye to Carlos, even though he cannot hear you, and follow Zodak back into the monastery. I'll tell you now, that's just an extra page that you get. This is the same as if you didn't go say goodbye to Carlos. Okay. So you would have just been a jerk.
That was free lore.
That's all it was. It was just, you would have been a jerk if you didn't go say goodbye to Carlos.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Zodak motions you to follow. He takes one giant step into the air. You look with amazement as he hovers a meter off the ground. Then you step up into the air, and you too are suspended above the floor of the monastery. You are levitating. Whoosh! The two of you zoom out of the monastery, right through the walls, up into the sky. You travel at unimaginable speeds. You climb at a dizzying pace until the two of you stand on top of the sharp, icy crest of Mount Everest. Below you stretch glaciers, mountains, and valleys. You see the world from the top. Zodak points to a narrow slot near the topmost point of Mount Everest. He says, "That is the route to Shangri-La." He takes 3 steps, enters the slot, and disappears from sight. You take one last look at the earth about you. You see the clouds rolling up from the flat, dry plains of the Punjab in India. You see the curve of the earth. You see the contrail of an airplane far to the south. You step into the narrow chute. It's warm, glistening with the shine of a metal unknown to you. You hover in space in the narrow metal tube. In truth, you are moving at a great speed down through the center of Everest. There is a rose-colored glow around you. Where is Zodak? Some guide, you think, leaving me alone. What's next?
That's not the ending?
No, we're still going! With a gentle bump, you come to rest. In front of you is a clear glass door. You push it open. There stands Zodak. Come, welcome to Shangri-La. You walk out into a dark green valley surrounded by low-lying hills. In the distance are high mountains. One of them looks like Everest. You hear music unlike any music you've ever heard before. It is somewhat like the sounds in the monastery, the bells and wind. The sunlight is warm and relaxing. Zodak leads you down a long trail to a 7-story building. It seems to be a fortress, but it is painted white and red and gold. There are no soldiers, no guns, only people who smile and greet you as though you are an old friend.
This feels like a cult.
Yep.
Super culty. But Yetis. It seems so natural. You turn to Zodak and you get a shock. His form has changed. Now, he is the mirror image of you. What does this mean? Although you never find out about that.
What a wild thing to say!
Although the writing here is awesome. You learn about many things as you stay in the valley. You have the chance to try many activities you could never try before, but only what is available in the valley. You learn to be contented within the limits of the small valley. Second thoughts? One last chance. Is that it? Is that what you want? Okay, you're on. Out of the valley of Shangri-La and back to the real world. Is it different? Can you do whatever you want? Can you fulfill your dreams? Can you enjoy your life completely? Or must you be content within limits? That's an ending. It just leaves you with an existential question. You became part of Yeti Society!
But why did we get a twin?
That
you will
never find out. No matter how many years you spend there living in Shangri-La, you will never find out.
We get to do things we would have never been able to do elsewhere.
But that's how they write it in your palms. All your palms are the same when you're Yeti. These books get so weird, dude.
Wait, that could mean that Runal was a chosen one, went to the Yetis, he went there, they took his form in a duplicate, and then the Runal that we met was a Yeti.
Yes.
Runal feels like the Red Skull in this situation. He guides others to a treasure he may never possess.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer for Runal. But
R.I.P. Runal.
I guess he's fine. I don't.
He didn't kill you that time.
He probably took Carlos home.
Probably.
And then Carlos was like, hey, where's my best friend? And then launched a murder investigation.
Yeah,
I mean, also, this kind of feels like an afterlife, so maybe we did die.
I think we might have died.
We might have died.
For sure.
Carlos
You're in a different, like, frame of consciousness there. That like, there's no way.
It's like time's frozen. You're saying that like we're still alive.
So which one of these are you absolutely sure do we want to go back to?
You got so many options at this
We've got so many options, and so many of them are just asking us, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Because there's an are you sure in the monastery,
sure
and are you sure outside the monastery.
There's also still just skipping the meeting with Renal.
I want to save that for last, because that's the furthest back.
Yeah.
And then there is accepting his offer the first time.
And not allowing him to be leader.
Yeah.
Right? No, that was when you...
That's when we got Monsoon.
That's when you got Monsoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, accepting his offer the first time. The most recent no thank you is in the monastery.
Or just straight up saying you don't want the secret knowledge when he first tells you. This is tough.
That's a lot.
Chat, what do you feel?
Chat, where you want to go? What you want to do? We've got... How many endings have we... That was 4? There's 24 more endings.
I very much I'd like to probably need to start writing down our options here.
That's a low ball, too, honestly.
So
the highest I've
endings.
seen was like 44, 48.
Wow.
Which is so many.
Okay, so...
It's so much to process.
How many?
That ending is crazy. I love the way they like make it like it's a novel at the end, like with this whole existential thing.
So we had the one in the monastery that was just free lore, nothing else would have happened.
Yes, that was just so that you can get the achievement to say goodbye to Carlos.
Was there a choice after that? I don't think there was.
No, then you just went.
Yeah, saying no to the forbidden knowledge.
Yeah.
I think is the...
That seems like the most dynamic here.
So let's
let me see if
take that
let me
step
find
back.
it. I will find it. Dude, some of these pictures when you're scanning through are crazy. It's like... That's what I used to do a lot when I was a kid, is I would just like scan through them and be like, how do I get there?
I want to go to the
What
picture.
must I do? All right. If you accept the secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now. You reject the offer of secret knowledge. Turn to page 116.
Hey.
Hi, Nebula.
Hi, Nebula.
Nebula! Hello!
You've missed...
Nebula, you'll probably love this.
We've died several times.
We've had 4 different endings. 3 of them are deaths.
3 of them are, well, 2 are deaths. 2 were deaths. One was a death of a dream.
Which is worse, honestly.
Honestly. All right. You look at Renal, you look at the monastery, and you look at Carlos.
Good old Carlos.
No, I'm not ready to accept your offer. No sooner have you spoken the words than clouds choke the narrow valley. The mountains seem to vanish, and the monastery is swallowed up by darkness. Renal turns his back to you and speaks as if to the wind. I'm very sorry that you cannot accept. Since you do not feel that you can go ahead, the expedition is declared over. All permits are revoked. You must return to Kathmandu and leave the country in 24 hours.
And you'll fly us back, right?
The note of finality in Renal's voice tells you that you have no choice whatsoever. Your trip is over. The end.
We've got to upgrade from a D4 to a D6.
That's crazy.
Because ending number 5, another death of a dream.
Okay, so wait, does he actually control the weather?
It sounds like Renal controls
I think
the
he
weather.
actually does control the weather. We kind of goofed, but like...
I think he is the shepherd of the Yeti.
He's got there's some powers to Renal here, for sure. I was holding on for dear life the entire time. I'm praying it would come out good.
Wow.
Oh, that was for dinner.
We have angered the entity known as Renal.
Dude, many times you've angered the entity known as Renal.
I still feel like that ending, he actually just killed us. Like,
It nearly sounds like
you
that.
can't get... Do you really think he would let us go after finding out this much?
Yeah.
He wouldn't trust us to not talk.
The mountains reflected his wrath. It was like...
It's like, I feel like he's gonna... Like, he'd be like, you need to leave. I got you this special helicopter. One I won't be on.
Mm-hmm. That sounds just like him. Dude, yeah, he is so sketch. Some of the intricacies of his sketchness totally flew over my head at 10 years old, for sure.
I feel like the big branch of decisions is not going to the meeting.
Yeah.
Reset it all the way back to the beginning.
Are we ready? Are we ready to go and try to actually find Carlos?
Because hang on, what else was there? There was the rejection of the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There was not letting him be expedition leader, which we made monsoon. There was accepting his offer the first time.
Yeah.
Which I feel like would just lead us down this exact same path.
I believe I can check that one
Yeah.
because that's worth just knowing.
Yeti
The
butter.
Yeti butter tea.
That's really funny.
So
That's
that implies
something
that
we would
there's
do.
Yeti milk if there is Yeti butter.
It's like, is it this butter tea made by Yetis, or is it milk from...
Is it Yeti milk? After you get Carlos. And no, because the whole reason I think we find Carlos is to continue the expedition.
So if you just say initially, when he first asks if I can just come, he just says, "Can I just come?"
Yeah.
Because he only asks if he can be the leader after you've
After you've
once.
offended him. Okay.
So, when you ask him if he can just come, you get this second part of that. It goes into the same track, though.
Okay.
But he still gets you all the supplies and stuff. They just don't give you that extra text of, by the way. So, we did kind of win, I
we
think.
found the
Corey said,
good
"Did you guys
ending?
win?"
We reached
definitely
the
switched to
Yetis.
That Yeti turned into us. There was making out in this book.
Yes, that's
There was.
true. We found Shangri-La.
That was really
We definitely went to an afterlife of some kind.
Yes.
And
I
then-
thought we were going to get abducted by aliens there for a hot second.
It was getting very alien, for sure. We found our doppelganger, but we'll never know anything more about that.
It does kind of have like an Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull kind
Yeah.
of vibe.
Yeah, it really does. This one's fun. All right.
So this is the...
Cancel your meeting.
Cancel the meeting.
You're a different kind of man now.
Yeah.
Secretary, cancel all my meetings.
All right, but what
Carlos
about Carlos?
cannot wait.
You decide to cancel your meeting and search for Carlos. Now we're Carlos lovers. That's
Yes.
what this. That's what this.
We've
this arc
always
is.
been Carlos lovers
Mhm.
secretly. We've.
Secretly,
We-
it's hard
we
to turn
haven't-
him. It's hard to leave it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to acknowledge it. But
I
in
want to
my
know
heart,
why he left us.
Now that he's
That's
not
why
here,
I'm looking for it.
I just don't know what to do without him.
You telephone Mr. Renal at the Foreign Ministry. This is an emergency, Mr. Renal. My friend Carlos is missing at base camp. I need help right now. Of course, I understand. Please allow me the honor of coming with you. I know the region well. You gladly accept the help of Mr. Renal.
Oh, no
I guess we
choice.
do.
All right.
His reputation as a mountaineer is excellent. He is able to arrange for a Royal Nepalese Army helicopter to meet you at the Tribhuhaven Airport. 2 hours later, you land at the Everest base camp where Carlos was last seen. His red nylon mountain tent is still there, but the storm has erased all footprints. Most reports of the Yeti have them well below base camp, but it is possible that they are up this high, Renal says as the two of you stand by the tent, looking at the glacier and the high peaks. Do you and Renal search below the base camp in the valley, or do you go above the base camp? Very interesting that in this
Yeah.
arc, when you bring Renal, he cannot immediately find Carlos.
Yeah. And it's... You're not going up to where Renal allegedly in the
Yes.
other timeline knows where Yeti are.
Yes.
If we knew the timelines, we'd also know that Carlos is probably just out and will be back in a couple days. 'Cause that's when we find him.
Yes, that's true.
Because we just got here too early.
Mm-hmm.
We know what lies up. Let's see what
To the
lies-
valley?
To the valley.
You go to the valley?
Sure.
Let's go to the valley. Let's go down.
Let's go to the valley. Let's do
Let's go
it.
to the valley.
Come on,
Go to the
let's
valley.
go to the
Valley.
valley.
If we want to go to the Hidden Valley.
Carlos, what are you doing here?
Oh my gosh. The helicopter stays at base camp, and you and Renal descend on foot along a narrow, rocky path below the snow line into a pine forest.
No,
It
no,
takes
not the
many
forest again.
hours. Oh,
Crap.
yeah. It takes many hours of careful walking. Remember, 3 shots, then 6 seconds, then 3
seconds.
more shots. Shot. Me and my buddy Renal, who made out one time in the monastery.
Hey, Renal, we made out in an alternate
Oh,
timeline.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember. It's crazy.
That's a crazy pickup line.
Is this the timeline where we make out?
Oh, my bad.
My
My
bad.
mistake. Unless you want
I'm
it to
early,
be.
I guess.
But what if?
But what if? But what The trail suddenly becomes very steep, and one side falls off more than 1,000 meters to a river gorge. You come to a small stone house with a thatched roof. An old woman sits in the sunlight by the door. Can you tell us if any climbers came by here? My friend is about 5'9", medium build, has dark hair. Renal, translate your description into Nepali. The woman nods and says 2 men came by. The younger one left a note, which is actually like a little picture with the text on it. Don't follow. Wait at base camp. Carlos.
Wait, did he leave the code that we always put in there if we're in duress?
Here's the thing. Carlos went by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this other sucker?
Yeah.
Hanging out with our Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something's not right,
Our
man.
Carlos.
This is why we made out with Renal in another timeline.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Renal turns to you with a puzzled look on his face. Carlos is your friend. If it were up to me, I would ignore his message.
You think he's already
But you know him better.
He's
what
already
now?
replaced
What do you
us.
think?
He's already replaced us with a new best friend.
Oh no!
My gut instinct is to immediately go against anything Renal says.
That's
I
so
hate him.
He sucks so bad. Do you obey the message and climb back up to base camp to wait for Carlos, or do you ignore the message and decide to look for Carlos? It is so
He's
true.
with
He's so
somebody.
like he makes you feel so fickle. You just don't want
Wait,
to.
Renal
He's so
said that
slimy.
we should ignore it?
He said he would ignore it.
We could be entering the domain of another eldritch being, and Renal has no power here.
Renal has no power.
I'm willing to take the route of where we don't retain memory. So far, Renal has been great bros. We kind of want to make
true.
out. We're feeling this weird tension.
I want to make out.
And we know that something doesn't feel right. Where did Carlos find his other guy? There shouldn't be another guy
Yeah,
here.
Renal's insistence seems to be
2 men came
that
by.
his expertise continues into the valley and is not limited to just the heights. So, oh boy.
Gonna ignore his message?
Yes. Because he didn't call us by name.
He didn't. He didn't. And he would.
Yeah. Carlos loves our name.
Carlos loves our name. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Carlos may be in trouble. We must find him. Renal nods in agreement. And he gives the woman 2 copper coins. She smiles at him and speaks rapidly in Nepali. Then she shuffles into the house. You and Renal remain outside, next to the small garden where squash lie ripening. What was that all about? What did the old woman say? You adjust your rucksack straps to stop them from chafing your shoulders.
What a great detail!
It's so good. Renal looks at you and says, the woman claims that your friend was traveling with a Yeti. You stare at Renal in disbelief. But why not? You're here to find them. Maybe they found you this time. You head down the trail, not knowing quite what to expect.
I wonder if Carlos is the chosen one in this timeline.
That would be crazy.
But Shangri-La is up.
Shangri-La is up.
This must be a trickster Yeti.
You race down the path. You race down the path. You see
With 1,000-meter
footprints that
drops.
might have been left by a Yeti. Suddenly, it is very quiet. The birds have stopped singing. The only sound you hear is your footsteps and Renal's right behind you. You wonder why. It doesn't take long to find out. Around a turn in the path, you run smack into a band of creatures that can only be Yeti. You are aiming an ancient... They are aiming an ancient bronze cannon at you. One of them touches a light to the fuse, and that is the last thing you remember. Until you wake up in your own bed. It must have been that awesome triple-decker with mustard, anchovies, and chocolate syrup. The end!
That's a death in a dream.
It's a death in a dream!
Not death of a dream.
Not death of a dream.
What?
What?
I can't believe we just got Dallased.
Dude,
Was Carlos even real?
Was Carlos
I was doing
real?
such a double. I was like, what do you mean? Oh my gosh!
I was kind of
So
worried.
funny.
I was kind of worried when you only got the 1 book that it may not have been enough to fill an entire stream. We could do 2 streams.
Oh yeah, easily. Easily. There's so much stuff in these books.
Well, I guess now we have to
Obey the
obey
message.
the message.
Yeah. All right, let's obey the message.
Oh,
Right.
man.
Okay.
Okay.
Over under. Is this ending a dream or not?
You think going below base camp is a dream?
Well, no. I mean,
Everything
even
below
just
base, yeah.
even just staying, even
Because we went below
obeying
base.
the message, like just not following.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that going to be a real ending or a dream?
I feel like that's gonna be real. Because I think that's just another way for us to go back up and be like, now do you guys want to go up the mountain?
Mhm. Let's go up the mountain. All right, you obey the message and climb back up to the base camp to wait for Carlos.
You know Carlos. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
This
knows
other
he's
man
Carlos.
must be a Sherpa that he hired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably best to return to base camp, you say. However, it is getting late, and the trail back up will be especially dangerous at night.
No, do we
What
have
if
to
we-
sleep at the old lady's house?
I think we should stay here until dawn, Renal counters.
Renal, what if we share
Of course,
the bed?
it's Renal's
What if we
idea.
share
What do we
a
share?
But there was only one
One.
yurt.
One yurt. You make arrangements with the woman to spend the night. She brings a simple meal of rice, squash, and buttered tea. You are very nervous.
Butter tea.
Butter tea.
Not Yeti butter
Yeti
tea.
butter tea.
Can we tell the difference?
You are. It sparks a memory from an alternate.
Bro!
You have like a "That's so Raven." You are very. So that's so Raven, but like the little clip hint that it gives you is just you and Renal making out in the woods. You are very nervous, but you trust Carlos's judgment. Whatever's going on is out of your hands for now, anyway. You can't sleep, and the wind of the high mountains keeps you restless and heightens your worry. Close to dawn, you hear a high, piercing scream. Yowie!
Go ahead and get the D8 ready.
Yeah. The noise seems to be coming from right outside your window. Renal moves quickly to the doorway. The woman is outside the house at the edge of the trail, holding up a battered kerosene lantern. You hear the cry again. This time it is even louder. Yowie! Suddenly the sound diminishes.
Colby,
Yes.
hating Renal and wanting to make out, the two are not mutually
They're
exclusive.
not at all. It seems to be going farther and farther away. The woman waves her lantern. Is it a signal, or is she trying to frighten whatever it was away? Those are the Yeti, she says. They invite you to join them and your friend Carlos. What should you do? This is more than you had bargained for. You look at Renal, and then at the woman. It is chilly in the half-light of morning. The Yeti sound is growing fainter by the minute.
I mean, if we're in, that's the whole reason we came here. Was the Yeti and Carlos.
Yeah.
Do you follow the sound of the Yeti, or do you return to the base camp and the helicopter? It specifies.
He did tell us not to.
He did say not to follow him.
But maybe he said not to follow because they were going to meet us here.
That's, yeah, alright. Let's
It
go get...
is that the Yeti have invited you, not Carlos.
The Yeti invited us and Carlos, which implies that Carlos...
The Yeti said they invite you to join them and your friend Carlos.
Oh, they are with Carlos.
They're
Come and
with
join
Carlos.
us. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, let's go for it.
You hate a man because you want to make out with him. Alright, you're going?
Let's go.
Let's
Like
go.
the opposite of hate is not love, it's
It's not-
indifference.
yeah.
So we can both hate and love him at the same time.
You run down the trail with Renal following.
We didn't invite you.
He was not invited to see Yeti. Minutes later, you jerk to a halt. There in front of you is the body of a yak.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was going to be Carlos.
I know. The ox of the high mountains.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Its horns have been savagely twisted off. They are now used as markers to point the way from the path to a thick. Oh my gosh, rhododendron?
rhododendron.
Rhododendron. Whoa! Okay, to a thick rhododendron and pine grove. That was crazy. You pause, looking at the horrible sight of the dead yak. The horns may be pointing you to Carlos, or they may lead into a trap. Do you take Renal with you into the grove for added protection, or do you leave Renal behind as a rear guard because one person can move more quietly and quickly and go into the grove by yourself?
Renal was not invited.
He's not invited.
And I want to make a joke about saying and I'll take
Is
up
it
the
the rear?
Yeah.
Because this is okay, but if we leave him here, this is exactly what he had us do to Carlos.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you really think that something would have killed a yak, twisted its horns off violently, and not be perfectly safe?
Plenty of branches to like mark a path from a tree.
And they
But
chose
they
to kill
slaughtered a yak.
the yak, the ox of the high mountains.
It seems safe. We can go alone, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
The scream seems
It
so
all will
convincing.
Make an excellent rear guard. All right. You ask yourself why you are doing this.
Why are we doing this?
Who knows what's in there?
I gotta adjust my rucksack so my shoulders don't shave.
But Carlos is in danger.
There it is.
So you enter the thicket.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's good. The pale light barely penetrates the pine trees. After 15 minutes of slow progress, you come across a strange-looking fence. It seems to be made of some kind of aluminum or stainless steel. You test it, and a gate swings open. Peculiar that it was not locked. A well-worn path leads to a rock face. At the base of the rock face, there's a strange carving. A bright red door leads into the rock wall, and a path leads away from the wall. What now? Do you enter the door, or do you follow the path?
The bright red door leads into the rock wall.
Into the rock wall.
And the path leads away.
Away from the wall.
But it's different from the path that we just came in. That was
Yes.
also going
Yeah.
away from the wall.
Yes.
Well, these seem like
This seems more like a
path.
classic choose-your-own-adventure
Yeah.
choice. Path or door. Not a lot of clues here.
So much easier when there's 3 doors.
Oh my gosh. Path or door? Anybody in chat have a particular inclination?
The door seems like the obvious, like...
It is red.
I feel
And,
if
like,
we-
why wouldn't both... It could just be both paths that are leading to the door.
That's true.
Someone's
Front
coming
exit,
from the
right?
other direction.
Yeah.
I wish Renal were here.
Gosh,
He'd
he would
know
know
what
what
to
to do.
That's true. The last time we went through a door, we escaped time, but that was a clear
It's true.
glass door.
What would Carlos
Mhm.
do?
I feel like Carlos would knock. That guy's crazy.
We didn't get the option to knock.
Yeah. I hope that's what we do.
Maybe
we don't
that's
just
what you
open
get.
the door.
That's-
That's true.
doorbell?
Maybe that's what you get. I don't know. It just says it's in the rock wall.
Yeah.
You might have to get closer to find something like that out, I guess.
Door? Door.
Sounds like we're leaning door.
Door.
We leaning door? Alright.
A red door in the middle of the
What could
rock
go
wall.
wrong?
That
What could
seems
go wrong?
seems inviting.
With your heart thumping so hard, you believe the whole world can hear it. You push the red door open. No knocking. Inside is a tunnel with smooth walls, illuminated by a gentle rose-colored light. There's no sign of life. The tunnel winds on for several meters and then ends abruptly. You find yourself standing in a long, narrow valley with steep walls leading to high, snow-covered peaks, probably Lotes and Kumori by the look of them. The valley is warm, filled with flowering plants and trees well guarded from strong winds. A boy of 8 or 9 sits on a carved bench. He smiles at you and says in English, "Welcome! We thought you would come. Your friend Carlos is anxious to see you." Where is Carlos? Oh, not far. If you wish to join him, you must agree never to go back to the world you came from. Do you understand? Do you want to join Carlos, or do you decide to leave?
This is a cult, but I think we're
It's
gonna
so
I know,
culty.
we gotta get to Carlos. This is how you get to
This is-
Shangri-La with Carlos.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want to join Carlos?
Yeah. I hope it's a fey
Yeah.
trick, Arcadis.
I hope it's a fate. Throw the child off the mountain. You feel confident that once you get to Carlos, the two of you can plan an escape. The child, who is dressed in a dark maroon robe, similar to that worn by Buddhist monks,
Oh.
leads you down into the valley. As if by magic, the valley appears as a city of light. Its radiance astounds you. Its brilliance dazzles but does not blind. Your fear fades. With gliding motions, you fly along a pathway. It feels as though you've been there before. "We are here! Please enter!" The boy points the way to a building that shimmers with light. It reminds you of the Taj Mahal, except it has many more towers, and the main dome is surrounded by hundreds of smaller domes, almost like leaves of a flower. You take several steps forward, and then feel the grasping of a force, not unlike magnetic force. You are held in the force field for several seconds, and then transported to the innermost room of the building.
Oh, it got weird.
Carlos is in the center of a group of people. While you look on in amazement, some of the people change form before your very eyes. One moment they are Yeti, and the next, unicorns. Smiling, Carlos speaks to you. Welcome! You've completed a difficult journey and found your way to knowledge. Now begins the true journey. The end. And there's a picture of Carlos and a unicorn and a Yeti.
Yeah! Yeah!
This is the good ending.
This is the best ending.
This is the best ending. It's Carlos and the unicorn,
But-
for sure.
That didn't sound like Carlos. Like,
Sounded like.
I think that feels like maybe a Yeti took his place.
So, do we go back and ignore the door, or do we go back and bring Renal with us through the path?
Or say, we
do not get invited by the Yeti.
Or no, or we just say no to the kid and like, nah, maybe
Oh,
we
true.
don't.
We could
Say
just
no to the kid.
Say no to the kid.
You
Cheers.
could also... Cheers!
Thanks, Colby.
It's a lot of climbing. We gotta stay hydrated.
You could also just not go down the valley. When you get to Carlos's camp, you could go up.
It's true. That is the furthest back.
You did it!
And
It's so fun,
what was
isn't it?
there was also
They're kind of
the
addictive.
bringing. We could bring Renal to
Yes.
the door.
Yeah, to the door.
You can also hold your ground and not go at the old lady's house.
Yeah.
So
Do
many
we want to see
options.
the old lady kills us if we just stay there?
That's true. She was kind of giving Baba Yaga.
I'm really curious to see. I feel like Renal is not allowed in Shangri-La.
That's true. That could be true.
Do we think that we could find an ending where we get to bring Renal with us to Shangri-La?
I think it's worth
That
trying.
is the true
That's the
ending.
we want the ultimate thruple
Ultimate thruple. Carlos and Renal in
in
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
Alright, so you want to try and bring...
Let's go back and tell him to no rear guard.
No rear guard. You're here, right?
Here right now.
Right beside me, buddy.
Alright.
We'll hold hands and skip to the door.
Alright, you take Renal with you into the grove for added protection. What? Oh. Cautiously, you and Renal enter the grove. The pale light of dawn does little to illuminate this eerie place. You are both careful not to make noise. Renal tugs at your sleeve.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting Yetis.
Renal tugs at your sleeve and points to the branches of a pine. Hanging from the branches is a red backpack. You approach cautiously. It looks like the pack that Carlos had been carrying. It may have been taken from him, or he might have left it as a warning.
It was white when he had it.
Oh no! That's terrible! Oh my gosh, do you retreat now and go for more help? Or do you give the special bird call whistle that you and Carlos use as your emergency code?
My special bird call of 3 shots.
Oh my gosh. That's such a crazy ask.
We gotta do the bird call.
They kind of make it impossible to turn down, don't they? That's so funny. Oh my gosh,
Gotta know if
that's
he's
so
okay.
funny.
This is the whole reason we came.
How'd he get all the way up there?
Alright, you're gonna make that bird call?
I feel like we're gonna attract Yeti and get moited.
Tweet, tweet, toot, toot. You have trouble whistling. You're so nervous. Then you repeat the signal, only louder this time. Tweet, tweet, toot, toot. There's a sudden crackling of bushes and twigs. You and Renal pull back, ready to run for it. Carlos breaks out of the bush, sees you two, and yells, "Run for it! Run for it!" A camera dangles from his neck, and the three of you leap out of the thicket and make for the trail. You keep on going until you can go no further. Between gasps for breath, Carlos tells you that the Yeti carried him to the thicket and allowed him to photograph a group of 16 Yeti. They told him that now he had what he needed and that they wanted to be left alone. Well, why were we invited, you ask? To help me get back, I guess. I had no idea where I was. You get back to the helicopter and return to Kathmandu with the first pictures the world has ever seen of the Yeti. Fame is now yours. It's the beginning of a great career.
There it is.
There it is.
We got it.
All right.
We got it.
Ultimate throuple.
Ultimate throuple. Escape with a photo of the Yeti.
And surely nothing will happen to the Yetis now that
Nothing
we
will
have
happen to
pictures.
the Yetis.
No one else will have any reason to try to contact
No,
them.
for sure.
People will
He took a family photo and then he left.
they'll respect their desires to remain private. We'll
That's
be fine.
wild.
Isn't that so funny?
The fact that this Renal doesn't care about keeping the Yeti a secret anymore.
No, not at all. There's no more secret knowledge, I guess. They're also just chilling in the woods, not in Shangri-La.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Isn't that so fun?
All
They
right.
don't necessarily always keep the lore the same throughout the different timelines.
There are 20 more endings?
Yes.
Because we hit 8.
There's 20 more endings. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We could come back. Mm-hmm.
There's so many.
So
there's
days.
so many more we can think of.
There's so many more endings to experience. And this is only one of the books. They have so many of these books.
You're choosing your own adventure before you even open the book.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's
Whoa.
true. Mm-hmm. Isn't that it's dizzying? Look at the stuff that they put in this book. What was your favorite ending, Marcus?
Oh. I mean, I feel like the most the most shocking one would have been the you get killed by poachers and they dispose of your corpses.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was pretty crazy, especially for a children's novel.
Yep. It's like, no, they don't leave any evidence. Don't worry, you're gone.
Yeah, you are gone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Different timeline, Ronaldo.
That's crazy. I feel like we hit the broad spectrum of endings of
Yeah.
like bad, failure, it was all a dream.
Yes.
2 weird side endings that are also good, but then the ending you wanted, we
Yes.
also got. And there's 20 more.
Mm-hmm. We seem to have gotten like the ultimate end. Yeah, and there's 20 more of them.
I mean, I feel like we haven't hit any that were like neutral bad, right? Like we haven't had any like, oh, you didn't find Carlos, that sucks. You go home,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or you just find
You've
Carlos
always
and
made
you're
it
like,
out
oh,
with.
let's go.
Well, no, not when you went to the Tigers, but
I
other
feel
than
like-
that, you've mostly made it out.
When we got the base camp split of high and low, I feel like if we had went high, we might not have found Carlos.
Mm. Or it's just a
Perhaps.
A
different
different
like
Carlos.
different Carlos, different kind of Yeti, like a totally different timeline. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy.
We've not found real violent Yeti.
No.
We found dream violent Yeti.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But never just like straight up like the Yeti that are supposed to be mad about war.
Yeah, that turf war that
Yeah,
Renal
we haven't
in the
found
other
turf war
timeline
yet.
was telling
Yeah.
us about.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't even know what happens if you just stay at the old lady's house.
That's
We
true.
don't know that either. It's true. Mm-hmm. There's so many of these endings that when you tear through, like some of the like ones that you like miss by a hair, are like almost always just like, but what about Carlos?
Do we want to give chat one final epilogue ending that they can pick?
Yeah.
One
Of all
final.
of all the branches that we've had, is there one you
Anywhere
want us to
you
go
could
back?
go. Where do you want to go back to? Chat gets the last call here. Last timeline of the evening. It's a hard decision because we can go over the options here. We've got, you could stay in the old lady, so you could stand your ground. You could just go up the mountain instead of going down and see what happens when you go up the mountain at Carlos Space Camp. You could not do the bird call.
We could go back and take the trail instead of the red door.
Trail
If we were
instead
on
of the
our
red
own.
door. That's a good one.
Did we have any other routes that didn't bring Renal with us? I think we pretty much figured out that there's no
He's
way.
coming.
Pretty
with
much
you.
always bring him.
Yeah.
We didn't leave the monk. We didn't. Let's see. What else? What else did you not do? Those are some of the big. I'm trying to think.
Take the trail instead of the red door.
Is that what we're saying?
That's what Colby is saying.
Colby wants to take the trail.
Colby might just be chat.
Colby might just be chat. Speak now or forever hold your peace. As I search to see where the trail is. There's so many things in here, too. Sometimes, like, just panning through here. There's one picture that I've seen a couple of times now that's like... Oh, okay, that's...
Arcadis, does your opinion differ from Colby at all? Or
Colby for sure is in the chat.
He's down for ending it all. No, wait, he said he's down for all ending.
Down for all endings. I found it. Alright, are we going with following the path?
Let's send it.
Right.
Ignore that door.
Ignore that door. Alright.
The door's closed. They don't want us to come in.
The door is too scary. Who knows what's behind it? The path, at least, is in the open. You scan the rock face, give one last look at the door, and edge off onto the path. Within 50 paces, you are up against a steep rock cliff. There seems to be no way out. Behind you, the path disappears into a maze of trees. You hear the high-pitched call of the Yeti, loud and mocking. A crackling sound makes you look up. A huge avalanche thunders down at more than 200 miles per hour. You huddle against the rock wall. The avalanche thunders by. Miraculously, you escape unharmed, except for choking on the snow crystals in the air.
What?
Naturally.
Maybe you should get out now and go back to the red door.
Does it just push us back to the red door?
Yeah, it does. With your heart, do you want to join Carlos or do you decide to leave? It just pushes you. Oh, that's so silly. Do we want to redo?
Yeah.
I want to see what happens if we stay at the old lady's house.
Let's stay at the old lady's house. Let's stay at the old
Ignore
lady's
that
house.
Yeti invite.
Yeah.
Go to. What do you mean? Go to page 57.
What do you mean?
It's like Carlos already told us to not follow
Go to
him,
page
so we're gonna
57.
stay here.
Did you Google this book, Colby? And now you have all the pages.
I don't know where you got. I don't know how you get to page 57. Let me find this old lady.
Go on page 69.
Turn to page 394.
What's that? Here we go. All right. Here's the Yeti. Okay, so yeah, the Yeti sound is growing fainter by the minute. All right. So it's if you follow the sound of the Yeti, or do you return to the base camp in the helicopter?
Carlos told us not to follow them.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
We gotta,
I ain't falling for this.
All right.
we'll go back and wait in base camp. He'll come back.
Oh, you're going up. Are you ready for this? I believe that this is probably what happens if you go up, like instead of going to the
okay.
valley.
Yeah,
All
probably.
right.
I think you just survived the night at the old ladies, it seems.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
All right, we've got to get back up to the base camp. You say, Renal grabs your arm. I know that cry. It's the battle cry. The cry of anger and revenge. We'll get help and come back for Carlos. Why are they angry? We have done nothing to them. Too many people have hunted them, tormented them. They've had enough, Renal answers.
Wait. So he doesn't tell us this if we decide to go after them.
No. He does not give you this information,
Renal
only
is
if you
not a
decide to go
real
back
one.
up.
And we have also gone from nobody has ever seen a
Seen a
Yeti
Yeti.
to too many people
Too many
are fighting
people
them.
have seen the Yeti.
The Great Yeti War.
The trail seems much steeper. Finally, you are at the edge of the glacier where the camp was pitched. The light of the late morning sun nearly blinds you as it flashes off the ice. Oh, this is not if you go up. The helicopter lies smashed in the snow. You just left it. The rotor blades are twisted and the plexiglass is shattered. There's no sign of the pilot,
Oh.
just giant footprints. Yeti footprints. Leading off to the heart of the icefall. Do you follow the prince, or do you stay by the shattered helicopter hoping for help?
The radio's out, man. We're just gonna die up here. We gotta go.
Let's
gotta
go
follow
for
the prince.
revenge.
Yeah.
Let me
They
tell
killed
you
our
something.
helicopter.
Following the prince, by the way, is page 57.
Let's go, Colby!
Let's go, Col. This is the best. This is Colby's timeline. This is what he really wanted.
And we're all gonna die.
And we're all gonna die. The prince leads you into the intricate maze in the icefall. You must be careful, because even the slightest movement of the glacier could cause the ice-rex to collapse. This is a death zone.
Deck saves.
Deck saves.
I got a 12.
Okay, that's not bad.
Oh.
There's
Oh,
a
it's
DC 10,
slippery.
you have
There's
no mods.
1,000-meter drops on each side. 19.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what, an average of like
Mhm.
60?
Sure.
Split between us? If we're grading on a curve?
That's not bad at all. Then abruptly, the footprints stop. They just stop. As if the owners of the feet suddenly sprouted wings and flew away. You look all around at the shimmering ice, the compacted snow, the sharp gray and brown of the rock flanked by ice. Overhead, several
it's
enormous
flanking ice.
birds soar in the thermals. On the summit of the mountains, curls of snow looking like smoke rise in the gathering wind. You and Renal stand in awe of the mountains, momentarily forgetting your mission. Something catches your eye.
His own eyes.
I know, it does kind of sound like that, right? I'm afraid it's a piece of red nylon cloth, held down by a small chunk of ice.
Carlos loved red nylon cloth.
He loves red nylon. Could it be from Carlos's tent? You investigate, as you stoop to pick it up, you hear a sudden noise on page 75. 4 Yeti leap out from behind 2 huge Syrex. You and Renal are captured immediately. The Yeti's strength is unbelievable. Your arms are held in vice-like grips. They carry you like sacks of rice up further into the ice fall. Finally, you are put down, and there in front of you is the helicopter pilot.
He's alive.
He is unharmed. One of the Yetis speaks. Well, thank you for coming here. We thought it would be nice to study you, and it would have been hard for us to travel to your country. The Yeti laughs a low, long chuckle.
That's what aliens do too.
Yeah.
The others grin. You look at Renal, at the helicopter pilot, at the surrounding mountains. The Yeti continues. Your friend is safe. He'll be brought back to you later. Now we've had enough of you, and we hope you've had enough of us. The Yeti walk off and disappear into the icefall. You find your way back to the smashed helicopter. Carlos is there, unharmed, as they said. Your only disappointment is at not getting a picture. It is several days before another helicopter finds you and makes a rescue. Tired, somewhat disappointed, you vow to continue your search for life forms in the remote regions of our planet. The end.
That's number 9.
That's number 9! But we found 57.
That's like a
For what it's
neutral
worth.
positive.
Yeah.
Like a slightly
You made it
above.
out unharmed.
We found everybody.
It was catch and release.
Yeah.
It seems
They
the only
studied us for like
death.
a minute.
Yeah.
are tigers and poachers thus far.
Tigers and poachers, afterlife, and then deaths involving dreams.
We're gonna call that one the Colby ending.
I am fully
Colby ending.
very surprised that the Yetis didn't just kill us right
Yes.
there. I definitely
I'm
thought
also
like
shocked
the,
that
the
the Yetis
body
don't
of
kill you.
the body of the helicopter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta know what's on page 69.
What's on page 69? Okay. For 3 days, you stay in this small village. I don't know how you got here.
Whoa, we should.
On the afternoon of the 3rd day, Sanji tells you that you are ready. We never even met Sanji.
We're in One Piece. Corey, we did it.
We never even met this guy. You still have Carlos. Many have died in the ice falls. Don't go to the ice falls.
Whoa.
You understand the this is an entirely... You had hoped you could avoid the dangers of Kumbu Icefall, but such recent sightings... There's a whole village.
I wonder
did
if that's
not
what happens
get
when you
to.
go up.
That's gotta be what
Instead-
happens when you go up. Because we didn't go up, we came back to the
Came back.
helicopter and it was smashed. That's crazy. There's also, this must be if you say no when you're in the monastery or something like that. Because there's an ending right next to this one we just did. We're just secret worlds, this is all too scary. To your way of thinking, you're not ready for this kind of thing. You want to explore the world you live in right now. Maybe Renal is crazy. Maybe he's a kidnapper. You'll never know. You walk out of the monastery, find Carlos, and continue the expedition. That's what you came halfway around the world to do. And then you just, you don't find them. Maybe Renal is crazy. Maybe he's a kidnapper.
Maybe he controls the weather.
That's honestly...
Maybe he's a tiger and a Yeti.
That's the most based ending right there. It's just being like, anything to leave you behind. There is one of these that has a picture that is just insane. I truly don't know what it would take to get there. I'm tempted to not say it, but I don't...
I mean, we could put this on the wheel of contingency.
We could come back here. Or we could go in a different
I feel like
one.
we'd probably
There's
go
so
different
many.
books at this point. You know.
Alright, then I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
There's robot cats on one of these pictures.
What?
Or maybe they're aliens.
They look like robots.
They're like little robots.
They
I
look.
don't know how you find them.
They look like those '90s pet animals.
Yeah.
That the little robot pets.
they do.
But this is 1982.
How is this
How would they know that?
That's a wild
Yeah,
picture.
there's Yetis in like a little campfire thing.
The Yetis just wanted their own cats, but they couldn't get any mountain cats besides mountain lions. So they were like, we need a domesticated robot cat.
Oh, here's an angry Yeti.
Oh,
no.
he's mad.
Angry Yeti. He's like breaking a pickaxe or something. There's so much stuff.
We need
These
to get
books
like
are so good.
We're gonna need to get like if we do this more, get like the table cam set up to really zoom in on the pictures.
Dude, we should do this again. There's so many others. Let us know, I guess, if you really liked this, then I'll go back to Barnes & Noble and I'll get another one. I don't mind. I loved these books. I'm more than fine purchasing more of them.
If only we knew like somebody who worked at our local library.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. There's probably plenty in there. We have a plethora of these to continue exploring. There were other options that I gave to the guys today, and there was, at least at the bookstore right now, which we know we could get.
Yeah.
There was a Journey Under the Sea, there was a Magic of the Unicorn,
The Mona Lisa.
there was a Mona Lisa, that was like a theft one, there was a Lost Jewels, Space.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get lost in our eyes, but like stealing the Mona Lisa does sound interesting.
Mhm.
No.
There was something about like a quest for, oh my gosh.
Where's the one where we get married to Renault?
Well, yeah.
Yes! Unfortunately, Renal is not in all of
Renal
them.
never gets. I think that is the thruple ending of where you get famous and rich, and you all just take the world by storm.
That's definitely the best one. My personal favorite was the It's All a Dream, though.
That's
That's
wild.
really crazy. Mm-hmm. That's so good. These books are awesome. They're so much fun. We will, I think more than likely, we're probably going to be doing this again. This was such a fun stream. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around for this little special side quest in lieu of secrets tonight. We hope that Corey's feeling better. But we'll be back on Sunday, regardless, for Strange Aeons. A lot of the people in chat are either on Strange Aeons or fans of it. So if you're ready for us to get back to our usual hijinks, everybody is over their colds, hopefully by Sunday, and we'll be back to our usually scheduled programming. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
And,
Remember to choose the right adventures for yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
choose your right adventures, and don't take Renal with you.
Take Renal.
Don't take Renal with you.
Mm-mm.